Good morning, Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a short video today, and what I want to focus on is what I call the best motive for murder. And there's multiple possible motives for murder. And, I think the biggest is the underground facility that's here. There's life insurance, possibility that the landman attorney Matt Hyman had died here. Maybe the motive for murder was revenge. Some of his landman friends were upset because he had grabbed my doorknob, during a home invasion and got himself killed in my hallway, trying to come into my bedroom and kill me. But that's all unknowns. But this one is going to focus on trap burglar. And I think it's what I call the best motive for murder. And I've wrote up and basically what happened that day and read that. It's really important, and it more than what I'm going to tell you here. But basically, on January 28, 2012, by the day of the murder attempt, day I'm shot, I had been reporting burglaries at my house for 14 months before this. Multiple times I called the police. Multiple times I talked to the Texas Rangers, talked to FBI. I had just contacted the El Paso DEA and the Midland DEA, reported a suspected tunnel a couple weeks before. My phone records will prove that. I had told family, friends, co-workers, people were breaking into my house. And of course, now we, documented homeowners all over the place reporting people in the attic. Multiple people documented, tunnels, underground facilities here, and all that. But at the time, I didn't have that. And so anyways, I went to the grocery store this day. I come back home, and when I come home, I open the door. I saw a cushion out of place on my couch, and that told me somebody had been inside my home again. Okay, because like I said, repeated crimes, unimaginable terrorism that was going on here in crime. And so I get this idea to tie wire my spare door shut. And one part of the reason that I thought it was a great idea at the time, but part of the reason I was doing this is because the ex-wife had already told me that there was a trap door here, underground trap door here, and that there was micro cameras here. And they were really just kicking my butt. They could come and go, and I couldn't catch them on camera. They're hacking the cameras, and I couldn't get the police to do anything. And here my life's threatened. And so tie wiring, this is a 3-bedroom home and 2 baths, and I'm by myself, and so I don't need 2 bedrooms, and I don't need that other bathroom. And so by tie wiring them doors shut, I compartmentalize the home. And what I'm trying to do is figure out which room they're coming in from, where the trap door is, how they're getting in my house, And so I spent a couple hours there, doing that, tie wiring these doors and all that. And then, and you'll see it on the nurses report, emergency room nurses report, that I was telling the police, the burglar alarms were going off over and over. The alarms were going off over and over. Okay. In retrospect, I think what happened is when I tie wired the door shut, I trapped the burglar. I noticed somebody had been in my house. I trapped this burglar in my guest bathroom. Okay, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. I'm going to show you that there's 2 rooms there, and where I believe they were hiding from me, and I trapped it, and I didn't know they were there. And so I tie wired all them doors shut, and I think when you look at it from their point of view, here they've got $1 million underground facility. They have spent millions of dollars, right? They've got their trap doors. They got technology. It's a gang of criminals. They got multiple people. They've got a dozen secret police helping them murder people. This is one powerful killing machine. They can stop free press in America to murder one homeowner after another. And all of a sudden, they're trapped by a piece of wire. Okay, because I trapped them in there, and I'm on the other side of the door with the gun. You know what I mean? And I'm a homeowner with every right to protect my life and property. We know now that these are killers, cold-blooded killers that are breaking into homes, shooting people. Okay, they are Charles Manson, and his gang that breaks into homes and kills people. That's who they are, and Charles Manson on steroids, because they've got a secret police murder gang helping them. And so, anyways, they're trapped in that room with the wire. Never expected that to happen, I'm sure. And I'm on the other side of the door with a gun. Okay, and then the burglar alarm's going off. Well, in retrospect, I'm thinking, why did the burglar alarms go off? And I think what was going on is they were trying to get me to chase the alarm up into the attic, to get the ladder down and go up into the attic where the alarm was going off. And then that way the person in the trap door underneath the house could sneak in and free up the trapped burglar that was in the bathroom. And then when I come down from the attic, all of a sudden the burglar's gone and it's all over, and they can get back to murdering the little girls that won't prostitute. You know what I mean? They can get back to their crime, breaking into homes all over Midland, Odessa, get back to what they do. You know, that is who they are and what they do. And so, but I'd already played that game. It was diversion tactics. I'd already figured out I was being ganged up on. There was more than one person, you know. There's a bunch of people here involved in these crimes, you know. And you know, and so setting the alarm off here and me chasing it and then them coming in here, I wasn't doing that, you know. And so that didn't work for them, you know. And so then their only choice is to kill me. No, that's not their only choice. Their choice was to turn themselves in, okay? To call the police and say, I'm a burglar, I'm committing a felony, come arrest me before the homeowner shoots me, and then send me to prison for 10 years for burglary of habitation, theft of services, and all these other felonies they've committed. Okay, but that was going to expose the underground facilities, the tunnels, all the other homes they rigged, probably the murder of the last homeowner, murder of the little girl at the old show party in 2010. It's going to expose everything if they turn themselves in. Okay, but they had a choice, right? They had a choice. They had the choice to turn themselves in. They made the choice to murder me, to kill me. They cut my phone lines on purpose. Now the question's asked, it's premeditated, that's all there is to it. But was it premeditated weeks in advance, days in advance, or was it just premeditated hours in advance? You know, I don't know, but it's premeditated, and we know it's also a capital crime because it's done during the commission of a felony. I've explained it this way before. That's the definition of capital in Texas, is that it's done during the commission of felony. The felony is the burglary of habitation. It's my home. Okay, they come into my home uninvited. I didn't invite them. Okay, and so they're committing a felony. Well, and then they get trapped, and so they decide to kill their way out of it, shoot their way out of it. It's like bank robbers. They're at the bank and they're in a bank robbery, and you know the silent alarm gets set up. The police come out. They get trapped inside the bank. Well, they can turn themselves in, or they can start shooting people. You start shooting people, right? Then they're going to get charged with capital crimes, and they get the death penalty or life in prison because during the commission of a felony. What was the felony? They're robbing the bank. And then to try to get out of robbing the bank, they decided to shoot to kill their way out of it. That's the same thing that's going on here. They're in the commission of a felony. They're breaking into a private home, my home. They're stealing from me services. I had been. Okay, I don't care if they got $1 million underground facility here and tunnels and corrupt police and all that. That doesn't change the law. They're in the commission of a felony and they tried to murder me. Okay, but they had the choice to turn themselves in, okay, and they chose not to. And so there were some clues that I got that there looks like they're trying to blame the victim, me, the homeowner, the innocent crime victim, and homeowner, okay? And one of the clues is the ex-wife comes over a few weeks after I'm shot and says, you don't know how many lives you ruined with your idiocy. My idiocy, I'm staying home minding my own business. You know what I mean? I'm reporting crime, being a good citizen, trying to make Midland a safer place, right? Because we got criminals breaking into private homes and stealing. Okay, you know, I'm the good citizen, good homeowners risking my life and reporting crime, right? And you know, and so, but I think what the comment was, the idiocy was I trapped a burglar. I recognized that I was under a home invasion and I trapped a burglar. And so that was it. The other part of her comment, you don't know how many lives you run, told me a lot of people were here. Okay, well, where are they? They were in the underground facility. It's probably in the backyard right over there. We see it on Google Maps, right? One of the 4 underground homes. I believe that's where the old show parties were going on, where the girl was murdered in 2010, you know, and where a lot of people were there, you know. So there's a lot of people involved, okay? And so then another clue I get is an officer named April Chandler, Midland police officer April Chandler, and just less than an hour after I'm shot, she's at the hospital, she's writing out an emergency detention form, and she writes, Mr. Webb shows paranoia to the extent that he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound. Now remember, triple proof says I wasn't shot with my own gun, so somebody come to my home and shot me, right? Okay, but look what she's saying. She's blaming me, okay? And so I think what the reference is, just like the ex-wife, that my paranoia was that I recognized I was under home invasion. The burglars that I've been reporting had been breaking my home. One of them got trapped in that guest bathroom. And that was the comment that she made, you know. And then my late dad, which I didn't talk to for the last 3 years of my life, or 3 years of his life, and a lot because I believe that he knew what was going on at this house and the crimes that were being committed against me, you know. And but one conversation was about this guest bathroom and the trap burglar, and he gets mad and is on a phone call and yeah, but you tower had the door shut. You had the safety off on your gun. See what I'm saying? That's what I same thing. The ex-wife, what April Chandler and my dad, they were shifting the blame from the criminals that broke into my home, a private home, and were stealing from a homeowner, trying to shift the blame over to the homeowner. Oh, it's your fault. Mr. Webb's so paranoid that he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound. Well, you know, here they are, police officers. He traps a burglar during the commission of a felony that'll send him to prison for 10 years, 20 years, right, for burglary habitation, right? Here they get trapped in there, and they're trying to blame me. You know, oh, we're the police, so we got to sneak in and shoot the homeowner to free the burglar. You know, right? That's the way I'm taking that, you know. And then there was another guy, Shannon Jeter, from Lovington, and it's on a Facebook post, and he writes interesting things in conversation. One, he says, buddy, cops can kill you and get away with it. Okay, that's a clue right there. He's telling me cops were involved in this. And not the good cops, not the ones that don't sneak in homes and murder people. I mean, I'm not a cop hater. I'm a lifelong law abider, and I've never had a felony, and I support law enforcement. I'm against police sneaking in homes, murdering homeowners, trying to free criminals that are breaking homes and stealing from people. We all should be, right? I mean, we all should be against that. You know, they're a danger to everybody. And so, but the other thing Shannon Jeter says here is that says you need to stop publicizing their business, the cops' business, and go buy you another home. Okay, you see what that's telling? Well, that tells you it has to do with the home, right? One, there's a couple things here trying to terrorize me from my home, right? Because they know it's going to expose the underground facility, the tunnels, and all the other crimes, the multiple murders, the thousands of burglaries and theft of services, and all the felonies being committed. You know, that's why they want me out of my home. And that's why law enforcement's looking the other way while I'm reporting crime and all these other homeowners are reporting crime, you know, and then they're allowing the crimes to be committed, and they're trying to get me out of this house, you know. So you go buy you another home. Stop publicizing their business. What is their business? You know, it looks like these cops' business is sneaking into homes, killing people, killing the homeowners that are reporting crime. That's what it looks like. Okay. Earlier this year, I get the police report, been withheld from me for 7 years. Okay, I'd ordered it in 2012, and I didn't get a police report. That's what caused the secret police. I had pictures of police, and I didn't have a report. Okay, in 2013, my attorney subpoenaed all police records. I have a copy of that subpoena, and it was withheld in violation of the subpoena illegally. This police report was illegally withheld from me in 2013, and that was the second time I'd requested it. And like I said, because I didn't have a police report, I didn't have names. I had pictures of police, and I didn't have names. And so they could have been criminals dressed like police, or they were dirty cops. And now we know they're dirty cops. Okay, but it took 7 years to figure that out. I got a copy of it this year. When I go through the timestamps on it, what I find out, 5 police officers are listed as being at or inside my home, but they're not seen arriving on the front cameras before that front camera was disabled. You know, and so I'm crawling out at 10:42. Woodward and Naylor show up at 11:01, 19 minutes later. Neither one of their names are on the police report, by the way, and Naylor's dead, the sheriff deputy Naylor, and Woodward is from a different county, sheriff from a different county. You can see massive just corruption, you know, this whole thing is. And then we got Davis, Matt Davis, Tony Dickey, Greg Chatwell, Kenny Angel, and Dylan Hale that are all time-stamped on scene at my home or inside my home, but they wasn't seen showing up on the camera. Okay, what does that mean? That means they were under my home. Under my home. Okay, somebody under my home shot me. Triple proof shows I wasn't shot with my gun, and the shot is 2 inches above ground level. 2 weeks after I reported a suspected tunnel to the DEA, and now multiple people saying tunnels underground facility here. One guy, Ricky Ronaldo, said, "I used to live in your house." I said, "Oh yeah?" He said, "Yeah, me and my brother used to go in the tunnels under it." I print screened it. I mean, I've got a copy of that. Multiple people have said this, you know. It's real clear cops were under my home. You put all this together, it looks like cops are the one that tried to kill me. And that might explain the cover-up and the corruption and why nobody's ever been arrested and why these crimes have been allowed to be committed against me. And all these people have tried to terrorize me out of moving out of my home, which is a violation of the Hobbs Act. Another 20 years in prison. I mean, it's lawlessness. That's what I've been saying. I met Homeland Security earlier this year. You know, Homeland advised me to go see the FBI again because Homeland says, well, you know, if the human traffickers kill somebody, then it's not our problem, not my job, you know, type deal. Ridiculous is what that was. But you know, wanted me to go to the FBI. You know, they're not dirty anymore. We got new guys over there. You know, and I already told them I recorded an FBI agent telling me he's going to shred evidence, and that's a YouTube video. That's unheard of. Should be a national, international news story. FBI agent saying he's going to shred evidence in a murder attempt. You know, posted to YouTube, and that was done years ago. You know, but anyway, I take his advice. I go down to the FBI under the advice of Homeland. Okay, the FBI agent won't even give me his name. Call me duty agent. Well, what's your name? Duty agent. You know, well, what's your name? Duty agent. Okay, Mr. Duty, you know. And so here I got a packet of evidence to solve a half dozen murders, you know, and stop this human trafficking ring and all these homes broken into, all this that I provided him. And you know, and during this conversation, and I've said this before, one thing I finally stopped and said, I said, can we agree that if I wasn't shot with my gun, then I was shot with another gun? And if I shot with another gun, somebody come to my home and shot me, okay? And he got mad. Boy, you could just see it in his face. Pissed him off, you know. As far as I'm concerned, he's trying to cover up multiple murders, including the capital murder attempt of my life. And I start listing out the evidence. Size of pellets removed from my foot were 2.5 sizes different than what was in my gun. You know, the surgeon said he removed a large amount of plastic. Lisa Rogers said I was shot with a .45. You know, triple proof shows that X-rays were faked over and over and over. You know, here's this. Here's this tunnel. All this. One picture he pulls up while I'm talking to him on his phone there. He's got his phone. He pulls up this picture and he asks me about it. And I go over and look at it. And it's the picture of that bathroom with the pry marks on top of the door. I'm going to show you here in a second. Okay. When I got home from the hospital, I found pry marks on the inside door jamb of that guest bathroom. That's where I tie wired it. And the door was half torn off. That told me that a burglar was trapped in there. Them pry marks wasn't there before I shot. That told me somebody was trapped in that room, okay? And that's how I put all this together. They were trapped in the room, and it was a dire situation, and they were going to have to call and turn themselves in and go to prison and expose all the crimes, or they're going to kill me, and they chose to kill me, right? That was the one picture the FBI agent pulled up. And I feel sure that somebody had already told him, these cops shot Buddy in his home, sneaked under his home, and shot him during some large party with a lot of people there because he trapped a burglar during the commission of a felony. Anyways, I was going to show you that. And I mean, the evidence backs it up. But right now, nobody has been arrested. The crimes have never stopped being committed against me. We do have a new mayor as of yesterday, but that won't start until the end of the year. My life's been threatened over and over and over again every single day, all this time, all these years, every day. I don't know if I'm going to live to the end of the day. I mean, I know there's people that are looking at a long prison term, but because of the crimes they chose to commit, not because of Buddy. I'm the one that's home minding my own business. I'm the one crippled for life, lost my career, had my reputation ruined, and the only way we can make Midland a safer city and a better city, and as the mayor's saying, unite the town. You want to unite the town, tell the truth. Be honest with them. If we have cops sneaking under homes or in homes and they're shooting homeowners to help burglars, then let's get them stopped. Let's be truthful and honest and restore some faith and confidence in our justice system here in Right, I'm going to show you here. I'm in my bedroom going out in the hallway here, okay, towards the front door there. Turn around. This right here is the guest bathroom. And that was one of the rooms that I tie wired the door shut. And actually these are bedrooms and a closet. And I tie wired all these shut, okay, with wire that day. And then when I get back home from the hospital, 10 days later, crippled for life, never worked again, disabled, I found a hinge torn from the wall there, or the doors halfway torn off. But on the most important thing is that these pry marks were there on the top of the door jamb, okay? And they wasn't there. I painted this whole house when I moved in here. It was real clear, you can see the pry marks, you know. I mean, that's not just incidental, whatever. Somebody tried to pry their way out of this room. And that's what told me that a burglar got trapped. And I'm going to turn around here, and you're going to see there's double doors here. You know, there's a door here for this area, and there's a door here. And what I believe is probably they were hiding back over here, you know, in this little room. And when I tie wired it, I didn't know that burglar. But when I got home, I recognized somebody had been in my house, and that's who was trapped over there. Okay, so all their technology and all their trap doors and their, you know, their cameras and their, you know, their dozen cops helping them, you know, break into homes and steal from people, you know, all that didn't matter. They were trapped, but they had a choice, right? They had the choice to turn themselves in for the crimes they were committing, burglary of a habitation, but that was going to expose everything, and they chose to kill me, and that's all there is to it. I'll show you a couple more pieces of evidence here, and I want to keep this short. This is the nurse's notes, okay, and they come from my medical log, permanent records, whatever. It's time stamped. Kira Cresswell was the ER nurse at 11:27. I called that at 10:42. Okay, and here I am. There are sirens going off. Okay, the alarms kept going off. Okay, and that's what I was saying. They were setting the burglar alarms off over and over, and they were in my attic. And I'm thinking what they were wanting to do was wanting me to go chase the alarm, and they could come in the trap door, which is in the utility room from where I shot. And you know, and then let that burglar out, but I wasn't going to go for that. And then Detective Rodriguez was documented as being in the room as I'm saying that. And of course, she turns out to be the lifelong friend of the ex-wife, who's alleged to be involved in the shooting. Right? Shannon Jeter. Okay, and here's his comment. He says, you know, cops can kill you and get away with it. Stop publicizing their business and you go buy another home. That was a clue that cops were involved in the crimes here. And not the good cops. Remember, I'm not a cop hater. I'm a supporter of law enforcement. But we all should be against police corruption, especially cops. They're sneaking into homes that are helping murder people or steal from, break into homes and steal from homeowners. Okay, and you know, and then the other thing, good luck finding a DA to file any charges. And then he's calling our district attorney as connected to all these crimes, trying to cover up multiple murders, and that even with proof, the district attorney won't file charges on the people involved, which looks like we got some police involved. Okay, and then another interesting, bigger people than you can ever perceive, and I think that's true. I think there's some very quote unquote important people maybe that were here or connected with underground facilities, whatever. Midland's a very wealthy town. And keep your doors locked and tie wired shut. He made a point about the tie wire, and that's the whole reason I had that, you know, this message in there, is because that tie wire was important, you know. And I want to show you here. This is from the hospital, okay, April Chandler, okay, and it's time stamped at 11:03. And I will say that once I got the police report, that the police report's time stamps don't they don't coordinate with what Chandler wrote here at the hospital. But the reason is because that police report was falsified. And I'd been saying that all along. It was Chandler that met me. I mean, it was Rodriguez that met me at the 7-Eleven and climbed inside my truck. But Chandler wrote that she was the one that did, you know. But here I've got her documented. So the timestamp here doesn't match up. But the most important thing is Mr. Webb showed paranoia to the extent that he caused himself to suffer a gunshot wound to the ankle. Now remember, triple proof shows I wasn't shot with my gun. She's blaming me for staying home and minding my own business and reporting crime, and it was my fault somebody chose to come to my house, cut my phone line, shoot me directly in an artery from point blank range. Well, I tell you what, I tell you whose fault it is. It's the people's fault that decided to murder the homeowner. And and I already said it, and I'll say it again. They had a choice. They could have turned themselves in, and this would have been over a long time ago. But you know, they tried to murder their way out of it. This Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.